The Armagh rail disaster happened on the 12th of June 1889 near Armagh in Northern Ireland, when a crowded Methodist Sunday school excursion train to the seaside resort of Warrenpoint failed to climb a steep gradient on the Newry and Armagh branch of the Great Northern Railway of Ireland. The heavily laden train consisted of brake vans front and rear and 15 carriages. At Armagh station there was a heated discussion between driver and station master about the loco's capability and the expected number of carriages. This is confirmed by the witness statements produced afterwards, which show the driver had been told that there would be the 13-coach train. The station master insisted on adding extra coaches, bringing the total number of passengers to around 940. Around 3 miles out of Armagh, at Killyrodden Hill, the engine, a 240, number 86, stalled on the 1 in 75 gradient. According to the reports, the chief clerk from Dundalk, James Elliott, who was riding on the train, suggested the train be divided, taking the front portion to Hamilton's Bourne station about 2 miles further on. The driver, Thomas McGrath, agreed. Although many of the staff involved had years of railway employment, several were not familiar with this line. McGrath had actually never driven on the line, although he had been over it as a fireman. Both the guards on the day were porters who acted as relief guards on excursion trains, so had limited experience. Both Elliott and McGrath appeared to believe that the rear brake van would hold the rear portion of the train on the gradient. Although the train was fitted with continuous vacuum brakes, they were of the non-automatic type, which only worked when there was a loco connected providing the vacuum. The rear guard, Thomas Henry, was instructed to place ballast under the wheels, neither brake van having any stock of sprags to place in the wheels. Sprags are wooden or steel poles used to stop stock from moving by jamming them in the wheels. Even purpose-made wooden chocks can be destroyed by moving carriages, such as this one at the Avon Valley Railway in 2018. The loco jolted the rear set of carriages as it rolled back slightly when pulling away, causing them to move and dislodge the ballast. They ran backwards down the slope despite the guard and 2 passengers winding the handbrake on as hard as possible. Driver McGrath reversed the loco in an attempt to catch up with and recouple the rear portion, but couldn't do so, and followed it until it reached the path of the oncoming 10:35 passenger train from Armagh to Newry on this embankment. The driver had managed to slow the oncoming train to around 5 miles an hour, but the runaway portion had, according to the accounts, reached about 40 miles an hour at this point. The resulting impact overturned the oncoming loco and totally destroyed the 2 rearmost carriages, which were of wooden construction, which was normal for 19th century coaching stock. 80 people were killed and 260 injured, about a third of them children. It was the worst rail disaster in the United Kingdom in the 19th century, and the worst rail disaster in Irish history. 6 railway staff were tried for criminal negligence, and James Elliott was detained for nearly 2 months. In the end, he was found not guilty in October 1889. It led directly to some important safety measures becoming legal requirements for railways in the UK. This was an important move away from voluntary implementation to more direct state intervention in railway safety. Within 2 months of the disaster, Parliament had enacted the Regulation of Railways Act 1889. The Board of Trade could now impose the use of continuous automatic brakes on passenger railways, along with the block system of signalling and interlocking of all points and signals. The automatic brakes work by locking in the on position until a loco is connected to raise the vacuum to release them, so if a train becomes uncoupled, the brakes will automatically be applied. The line was operated by the time interval system, where a train had to wait a certain amount of time in a station after the previous one had departed in order to allow it to move to the next section, in this case a 20-minute delay. This was critical to the incident. If the block system of signalling had been in operation, the 10:35 would not have departed. The runaway coaches would have ended up in Armagh station at a greatly reduced speed, and would almost certainly have been seen by the signaller and directed into the goods yard against the buffers, where the impact would have been much less severe. It also implemented various regulations about working hours. There is a small memorial in an Armagh park known as the Mall, erected in 2014 on the 125th anniversary. The line eventually closed in 1957. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe for more Random Railways.